Hey everybody, Mr. Bookie Boo here, and today I want to talk about something a little bit different. What I have here is the new 2021 Police Station Modular. Really exciting set, fantastic, highly recommend it. It's a fun build, lots of really cool Easter eggs, which I'm not going to spoil for you. Um, and it's a really unique building because it has kind of that layered effect that I like to talk about a lot with my facades that I have in my city. Um, this kind of has like built-in facade. They're not really third facade; they're full buildings, but it's built in like kind of layering, and so you really get some nice depth. However, the way it's designed, it actually creates some interesting dilemmas for people that are building cities because there's some really cool features, especially this really cool printed sign here that a lot of us want to be able to be highly visible from from on our layout when people come and look at it or in photographs or whatever. Well, the problem is because it's on the side and most of your other modulars are kind of built all the way up to the street level or to the sidewalk level. It makes it difficult to place. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go through a few different placements so you can kind of get an idea for what it looks like and what I think might be a good placement for it. And so we're going to talk about that in depth. So let's go and let's take a look at this. One of the very first suggestions that I heard from people online was to put the new police station next to the detective's office. Now, the reasoning being that the pool hall portion and the actual detective's office is lower than most of your other typical modulars. Like if you pan around here, you can see like the assembly square, corner garage, they're all pretty tall and they all get right up to the curb pretty much. I mean, there is the cutout in assembly square, but you can't really split that modular up easily. It comes as kind of one giant piece, which I actually wish now they would have made that so that you could have it in two separate pieces. So you could like flip the coffee shop and put that on the other side of the bakery, for example. You know, would have been nice, and you could do that. I mean, you could rebuild it that way if you wanted to. Be an interesting idea. But then, of course, actually, now that I look at it, you would actually run into the problem, which I'm going to show you later when I put the police station next to the diner, is that then you would all of a sudden you would have a green building, the flower shop, next to the little green building of the that's attached to the police station where like the jail cell is. So I'm not so sure if that would work. But here you see the police station next to the detective's office. It looks fairly good. The color scheming is good. I don't like to do modulars where the color schemes are like the same next to each other, which you're going to see again a big problem teasing it out. I probably should have done that one first, but you're going to see that in a minute. The issue that I have with the police station next to the diner. But this works fairly well. It looks good. It looks good next to Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters actually has an alleyway because it's not the actual fire station doesn't go all the way to the sides of the base plate. So there's a built-in sidewalk, which is originally why I had the diner next to Ghostbusters, because the diner has that really cool, front-facing where the diner, where the what is it, the fascia on the front of it, where the diner sign is, and it kind of wraps around the sidewalk. And I don't like, and you can see it perfectly illustrated here, where the pet shop is right next to the diner. I don't like that kind of that fascia touching the modular next door. So I really liked having an alleyway. And actually, if you remember my previous version of the city, I had built a special 8 wide alleyway to put there because that was kind of driving me nuts. So that's why diner was initially over here next to Ghostbusters. But for now, you can see the police station looks pretty good. You have the detective's office on one side, Ghostbusters on the other. Now, you can't really see the green jail building attached to the police station hardly at all unless you get to like an extreme angle, which I don't even think I can really get to easily here in my room. So that gets kind of lost. You can see the sign, but it's kind of hidden. Even with the detective's office not being as tall as the other modulars, it's still kind of tucked away there. So I don't know how visible that is. And then, of course, the donut shop is really hidden in this configuration. A, because it's in a corner in my city, but also B, because it's set back, so you really can't see it very well. So, excuse me. So we'll see. Let's look at a different configuration. We'll see what else looks good. Okay, so here's the next configuration that I thought of, and that was basically to put the police station next to the diner. Now, it looks good because A, you can see the way I have the camera kind of straight on, but you can really see the little green side building on the police modular. There's space between the two. The fascia on the diner wraps and it looks really good. It's not pressed against the modular next door until you get a little bit further back. So it's more pleasing to the eye for me. The newsstand looks great next to the diner. And of course, with this configuration, because it's more on the wing of my city, like one of the sides, you can see the donut shop really well. The problem is that it's too much light tan color, sand. I always get those confused. The sand color is too, there's too much sand going on here. Like the two, I don't know. It seems like it's just kind of overpowers the scene a little much. It's too much, you know, I like to keep, like I said, I mentioned earlier, I like to keep the colors separate, break them up a little bit. And in this style, it's just, I don't know, it just seems a little much for me. The advantage though also is you could really see that beautiful printed Soaps and Suds billboard, because there's nothing obstructing that view at all. So I really like the configuration, but I'm not a huge fan of the color scheme. And then you start to get into other options, which I'll actually show you a few. But I'll show you kind of what the problem is when you get into like the taller modulars. And actually Town Hall right here is a great example of that. So let me show you how that works. Okay, so police station next to Town Hall. You got all the municipal buildings all kind of next to each other, which is cool. But right away the problem becomes apparent. You have this really narrow alleyway that is almost completely hidden unless you're looking straight on. You can't see the billboard at all. It's completely lost, you know, like from the side angle, it's basically invisible. And it's just really, and then also actually, this is actually a really good comparison. You can actually see how tall the new police station is compared to Town Hall. I believe Town Hall was the tallest modular, not counting Ghostbusters, which I don't really technically consider a modular, although it is modular-like, but it's not like an official modular. But you can see how tall police station is. It's actually a little bit taller than Town Hall as far as the actual building goes. Of course, you know, you have the bell tower, the clock tower here with the bells. That makes Town Hall that much taller, but it's actually a really tall modular. It's really substantial and big, which I really like that. So, but this configuration I'm not really a fan of at all. So then I started thinking, and I'll actually show you what I came up with as another. And actually, let's just, before we get to that, let's just quickly, we can pan here and you can see the issue is going to be fire brigade. You're going to have the same problem as Town Hall. There's really no give. The alleyway between, and this, because this is only an 8 wide like building, that green building, the sand green is only 8 wide. You're going to have the same problem next to fire brigade. The Grand Emporium is an automatic no because that's a tan building. Ghostbusters would be an interesting idea if you put it on the other side of Ghostbusters. So that's something that you could do if you had that. You could put the police station on like this far side of Ghostbusters because you'd have that alleyway, and that might look pretty decent. I don't know. I'd have to check it. For me, Ghostbusters is staying there because, as you know, I struggled to find a place for that for years. And I can't easily flip it to this side of the city because I have the mountains there. So for now, that's a no-go for me. Again, it wasn't so bad next to detective's office. That was a potential solution. The pet shop, which, as you know, 3POs is just a recolored pet shop for me. That wouldn't work because it's so close to the sidewalk. We already talked about Assembly Square. Corner garage, same problem. Brick Bank is slightly shorter than some of the other modulars, but it's also right up against the sidewalk. There's really no advantage with that. If you did a mirrored Parisian restaurant, that might be an interesting solution, but you'd have to build it, you'd have to flip it. And I'm not so good at that. I know some people have done that. That would be an interesting idea. Now, I know that the box art for the police station shows the library, or not the library, the bookstore next to it, but it's actually on this side of the police station here, which actually looks pretty cool. I've actually seen, because the little house, the teal house, is actually set back a little bit, and so it gives you a really nice, again, with the different like layers, it looks really good. And so that's an option, but that would only be on the donut shop side, not necessarily the jail side with the billboard. Again, the pet shop townhomes, not really. Green Grocer is a massive building, but it's also flat. And then I just kind of get into some of my custom modulars, all of which really wouldn't work. The tuning garage would be an interesting one if I built the tuning garage on the opposite side and then had the little courtyard with Spider-Man's apartment on the flip side of that. That could possibly work. So you can custom set up something. And really the only other thing that I have down here would be the Palace Cinema. But again, it's the same problem. So you're going to have it's right up against the sidewalk. And so these little outbuildings are going to get lost in the shuffle. So I don't know. It's not an easy solution to fix it with the existing modulars, but I'm going to tease out something that I've been working on that I think might be the answer to my problems. So let's take a look at that. So I don't have Market Street. That's one of the modulars that I'm missing, but I really do like the idea of the little side building, like a little courtyard with the farmer's market kind of thing in it. And so what I had the idea when I saw that, I was like, oh, well, what if we did that as a potential solution for this? And so what you see is the early formulation of that. So I'm trying to do a 16 wide Market Street side building that's without the sand blue actual Market Street building. And what I'm thinking is this gives you a lot of space between the next modular. It's set back, and then it's also going to have like a patio balcony so that you can really see, and let's see if I can get an angle on this so you can kind of see. You can really see the billboard because there's really not a whole lot next to the police station. So this to me seems like a really good potential solution. And then what I'm thinking, what I might do instead of leaving it flat and exposed back here, like behind there, the original Market Street, this was just a single story structure, this little building here. I might do like a setback facade or something, like apartments or something like that behind it to give it a little more, so you don't have this giant like hole in the middle of your city like you have right now. So that's my custom solution that I'm kind of tinkering with. And you can see I've already kind of started making it. I've mocked it up. I just copying the original design, adding a few little design flair elements that make it a little bit more personalized, just updating it a little bit, using some new elements, a few different colors and things like that. But I think that this might be the winning solution for me. Now, the next question though becomes, where exactly am I going to put this thing? Is it going to sit right here? I do kind of like the municipal aspect of this. I have the town hall, the fire station, the police station all next to each other. Lots of cities are like that. We're all kind of, the civic buildings are all kind of together. I don't know how the little market Green Grocer is going to fit in between that, but I guess you could argue that maybe it was a part of the municipal square. So we'll see. What do you guys think? So what are you guys thinking of doing? Have you gotten the police modular? Have you built it? Have you placed it in your city? Where did you put it next to you? How are you configuring it? Are you worried? Am I just way overthinking this whole billboard thing? It's such a cool idea, and I'm hoping that like next year's modular is going to be something, which is probably going to be a corner if the trend continues, but I'm hoping that they take that into account, this billboard, and they're going to put it on like this, the billboard side, the next modular, and hopefully they'll take that into account and not have this skinny alleyway that you have like if you put it next to a massive modular or a traditional modular that's kind of full of the full face front without the staggered setup that you have with the police station. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. So that's kind of my thoughts on this, and that's kind of where I'm going for now. We'll see how it looks. I'll keep you posted. I'll be posting updates on this little courtyard thing on Instagram as I develop it. I kind of want to get it, configured and set up because I really want to get the police station in place. And right now I'm kind of leaning towards just putting it here. The diner is going to go back to where it was because I really like that's sitting over here next to Ghostbusters. And this space here, I have this available. As you know, Diagon Alley is getting kind of pushed down a little bit more. It's going to be closer over to the new Hogwarts land, which I'm working on. And then, of course, I'm going to be back really soon with another video talking about my new Ninjago land. I've got the new Chinese New Year set, the Spring Lantern Festival, already placed. It looks really good in front of the Temple of Air-Jitsu. And then I also have the Ninjago City Gardens on the way. And I already have an idea of where I'm going to place that as well. So I'm going to be doing some good Ninjago stuff coming up soon. So Thank you for watching. Make sure you're subscribed. Even if you don't know where already, we're doing live streams now. We've been doing a couple on YouTube. We're going to be doing more. They're typically either Saturdays or Tuesday nights. And so just watch on all my social channels. I'll be promoting it. And if you can watch, that'd be awesome. I appreciate you guys. And thanks so much for being awesome. Happy building. Talk to you soon.